Master of Chaos, Boobytraps, and How to Survive Them. The ninja arrived at the pyramid and went into Clutch Power's tent. He was sitting in there reading a book. Zane explained why they were there. Your assistance will be very helpful, he finished. Nope, no way, 9 Dunka, Clutch said firmly. But nobody knows what's inside. There could be valuable historical relics, Lloyd said. Treasures, Kai added. Gold, Jay said. And diamonds, Irene cried. Clutch sipped his juice and shrugged. You are the foremost expert on ancient structures, and your book, Booby-Traps and How to Survive Them, is considered a seminal work, Zane said. Flattered! But still no, Clutch said. Professor, isn't there anything we can do to convince you? Nia asked. Professor Powers, there's a call for you, a young intern cried, running into the tent and holding out a cell phone to Clutch. Now, Dwayne, I told you I didn't want to be disturbed, Clutch scolded. But it's the Explorers Club, Dwayne said. What? Give me that, Clutch demanded, tossing aside his juice and snatching the phone. This is Professor Powers. Irene watched the look on his face change. What? This is an outrage! I demand an explanation, he shouted, stomping his foot. I just discovered a pyramid! Clutch was angrily stomping around, then he facepalmed. Yes, I'm here. Don't cancel anything. I'll get back to you, he said, then hung up and tossed the phone back to Dwayne. Ugh. Well, guys, looks like you're in luck. Clutch Powers is open for business, he said to the ninja. He opened a chest in the corner and took out a small amulet and 2 flashlights, then took the ninja to the pyramid's entrance. Clutch turned on a flashlight and started to lead them inside, then stopped and turned, shining the light in Kai's face. Now, before we take another step, I hope each of you has read my book. It could save your life, he said. Of course, Zane and Irene replied. Yeah, I love that book, Kai said. He winked at the others as Clutch turned around. They headed down a passageway into a room with a chasm that had a rope bridge over it. Whoa, the ninja gasped. Chapter 8, Rickety Old Bridges, Clutch said. He spun around to face the ninja. Only one way to cross them. Fast and first. He quickly dashed across to the other side. Last person in line usually doesn't make it, he called. Nia dashed across the bridge. Kai and Jay followed, but tripped in the middle. Cole jumped over them as he ran across the bridge. Lloyd did the same, jumping off Kai's head like Super Mario. Kai made it to the other side, and Zane came running and picked up Jay on the way. Irene just laughed and walked across like a normal person. The bridge didn't collapse. That wasn't so bad, Jay said, breathing a sigh of relief. Huh, it was actually pretty sturdy, Cole remarked. Yeah, we got lucky, but luck runs out, Clutch said. They continued on, stopping at a flight of stairs. Jay started to walk down the stairs, but Clutch stopped him. Don't! He bent down to inspect a cobweb that was stretched out across the top step. He lifted up his eye patch to take a better look, the completely fine eye startling Jay. Did you see that? Jay gasped, looking at Cole. See what? Cole asked. I don't like the look of these, Clutch declared. They're cobwebs, Kai said. Yeah, well, that's what they want us to think. Jump over, like this, Clutch instructed, hopping over the cobweb. Irene, Cole, Kai, Zane, Lloyd, and Nia did the same, walking down the steps. Jay shrugged and walked through the cobweb. They all heard an odd sound. Gumdrops! Clutch exclaimed as the steps flattened out into a ramp and they all slid down. Irene shrieked. Grab onto something, Lloyd shouted. I'm trying, Kai shouted. There's nothing to grab, it's too smooth, Jay yelled. Guys! Cole yelled, pointing to a pit of giant spikes beneath them. I got this, Kai shouted, blasting fire at the spikes, destroying some of them. Fortunately, no one was impaled. Cole glared at Jay. He said to step over them, he scolded. I did, Jay protested. Then what's that on your foot? Irene said, pointing out the cobweb that was stuck on Jay's foot. Jay gave a sheepish smile. If you did step over it, then we wouldn't be lying here in a pit with... Cole's voice trailed off when he saw the startled looks on his friends' faces. What? What are you guys staring at? He asked. He turned to see what they saw and fell backwards in surprise. Ah! I wonder who that was, Zane said, staring at the skeleton that was impaled on a spike. Someone who didn't stop in time, Kai said. Clutch walked over to the skeleton and lifted the eye patch for a better look. Jay pointed to Clutch's eye, giving Kai and Zane a panicked look. Clutch turned around, his eye patch back in place. Jay looked disappointed. Hageman, a competitor. He was good. Very good. But he didn't read my book, and it cost him his life, Clutch declared. Zane inspected the skeleton's backpack and pulled out a book. Actually, he did read it, he said, holding up a copy of Boobytraps and How to Survive Them. Now let me see that, Clutch demanded, snatching the book and flipping to a bookmark page. Aha! He stopped on chapter 8. Cobweb traps are in chapter 9, he said, tossing the book and dislodging the skull. The rest of the skeleton fell off the spike. Irene picked up the skull and looked into the eye sockets. Alas, poor Kevin, she said, making Nia snicker. She put the skull down and the ninja followed Clutch down the dark hallway. Jay shook the cobweb off his foot and grabbed the book before running to catch up to the others. They came into a crypt with multiple sarcophagi in it. Wow, would you look at that, Kai remarked. This is so cool, Irene cried. Nobody touch nothing, Clutch ordered. The path was blocked by a large stone pillar. Cole? Lloyd asked. I got this, Cole declared, activating his lava arm and lifting the pillar. Irene gazed at him admiringly. Any day now, he grunted, trying to hold it up. Everyone quickly rushed through into the tunnel, and Cole followed, dropping the pillar behind him. They entered a room with decorative tiles on the wall. What is this? Lloyd asked. Zane scanned the tiles. It appears to be an ancient locking mechanism. If the image is properly assembled, the chamber will open, he said. Ooh, like a puzzle game, Jay exclaimed. I'm good at these. He grabbed a large staff that was resting in the corner and started sliding the tiles around. Slide that one over there, Nia suggested. Oh, yeah, Jay agreed, following her direction. Wait, what about this? Nia said, climbing up and sliding a tile. Zane walked over to a wall and examined the hieroglyphics carved there. What does it say? Lloyd asked him. Beware ye who enter the serpent's tomb, Zane said, slowly translating the glyphs. For her anger nearly did consume all Ninjago, until a foolish boy with a staff of power her evil did destroy. What does that mean? Lloyd wondered. Gobbledygook, who knows? I haven't met an inscription yet that made a lick of sense. I just ignore them, Clutch said. Irene rolled her eyes. It made sense to the person who carved it, and we gotta decipher what they meant, she said, turning her attention to the hieroglyphs. Zane recalled the nightmare he'd had. No, don't! He shouted as Jay moved the last tile into place. The tiles revealed an image of a serpentine. The room began to shake, and the tiles fell. The ninja were thrown off their feet. A serpentine woman with blue-green scales laughed as she slithered out of the tomb. Free at last, she hissed. The ninja got back up. Where is he? The serpentine hissed. Who? Lloyd asked. The treacherous deceiver, the one who imprisoned me. Tell me where he is, and I, Asphira, will show you mercy, she answered. I believe she's looking for the boy mentioned in the hieroglyphics, Zane whispered. What do I tell her? Lloyd whispered back. Tell her the truth. We don't know, Nia said. Asphira's staff crackled with magic. That was a while ago, Lloyd mumbled. Asphira blasted him, knocking him back against the wall. Oh, that does it, Irene growled, pulling on her hood. The others did the same. Let her have it, Jay yelled, shooting lightning. Asphira blocked it with her staff. I'll get help, Clutch stammered, running back down the way they had come. That guy is useless, Irene muttered to Cole. The ninja attacked with their elemental powers, but Asphira was more than a match for them. She pointed her staff at Kai. You're a fire elemental? She asked. Yeah, and the name's Kai, he shouted, throwing fire at her. She blocked it with her staff and smiled. Your fire warms me. For too long I have been trapped in this cold, dark place. I will take your fire. Oh yeah? Kai challenged. Asphira slammed her staff on the ground, creating a shockwave that knocked them all down, then levitated Kai into the air with her magic, draining his fire powers. He screamed in pain. Kai! The girls shouted, worried. Asphira began to absorb Kai's fire. What's happening? Cole shouted. She's stealing his elemental powers. We must stop her, Zane said. Ninja, go! They shouted, using Spinjitzu to attack Asphira. To their surprise, she defended herself with Spinjitzu, knocking them back one by one. She knows Spinjitzu, Irene gasped. How? Jay cried. Asphira finished draining Kai's powers and he fell to the floor, unconscious. Kai! Lloyd shouted, and all the ninja ran over to him. Asphira's scales turned gold, her hood edged with flames. I thank you, Elemental. In return for your gift, I shall spare your lives, she said, waving her staff and using her magic to chain the ninja high up on the wall in a line. First Nia, then Zane, then Kai, then Cole, then Irene, then Lloyd, and then Jay. May you enjoy your time in this place as much as I did. Farewell, she called, slithering away. You won't get away with this, Lloyd yelled after her. Irene looked around. We're in trouble, guys. Yet another villain is loose in Ninjago, and we're trapped.